Hey guys, so I wanted to basically do a voiceover for this video because I'm like so happy to kind of just do this video in general, because I was kind of not stressing out, but I didn't know what kind of video I wanted to do for this, and I kind of didn't want to do cast because I was already doing Pride Month Sims, but then I was like, fuck it, let's do cast, because what would I have done in Building By? What would I have done in any other thing? So before I say anything, I also want to share light to the fact that I have a Twitch channel and I do stream over on Twitch. I will start doing I'll start doing more build videos over on there, but I do mostly cast. I do my Pride Month Sims over on Twitch. I don't have a set schedule for when I stream, but I do post when I stream on TikTok. So if you do want to go follow me on TikTok, it is the same thing as my YouTube and my Twitch. So if you are on computer, if you go to my channel, and you look at the top where my banner is, on the right hand side, you will basically see all of my icons. And for the icons, there is Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. So if you click on it, it'll take you to either one that you want. So if you click on my Twitch, you will be sent right over to my Twitch and all that. So go ahead and do that, whatever. So today I'm going to be explaining to y'all what Juneteenth is and kind of just my opinion on all of this stuff that has happened over the time within like everything, like, you know, like so just to give y'all the summary over what it is before I read this article that I have. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm kind of just going to like skim over a little bit. But basically, Juneteenth is the holiday that I put the emphasis on all of the slaves were freed in 1865. So this holiday is very special, especially since this shit was not as long ago as y'all may think that it was. People try to make it seem like this shit was like so long ago, blah blah blah, but like in reality this shit was less than 200 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So literally like 1919, come on man, 1865, bruh, that shit was not like as long ago as y'all might think that it was. So I'm gonna be basically reading, you know, what it is. So Juneteenth, it is also called the Emancipation Day. So the Emancipation Proclamation, if y'all don't know what the Emancipation Proclamation is, it is basically the document or the law, you know, that was signed by President Abraham Lincoln at the time, you know, 1963, not 1965, you know, stay with me. He signed this in not 19. Stop saying 19. If I say 19, I mean 18. Okay? 1863. He signed this in 1863 that basically said, you know, you cannot own slaves anymore. Okay? You cannot own slaves. You have to free these slaves. These slaves should be seen as people. You cannot work these slaves on these farms and plantations and stuff. You have to, you know, let them go. Okay? So it is also called Juneteenth Independence Day, and it's a holiday commemorating the end of slavery in the United States. And it is observed annually on June 19th. And Juneteenth is celebrated today, Saturday, June 19th, 2021. So in 1863, during the American Civil War, President Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation, which declared more than 3 million slaves living in the Confederate States to be free. So Confederate States are basically states that had slaves, mostly majority southern states like Texas and stuff like that. So more than 2 years would pass. However, before the news reached African Americans living in Texas, it was not until Union soldiers arrived in Galveston, Texas on June 19, 1865, that the state's residents finally learned that slavery had been abolished. So all the way up from whenever, they started to have slaves, all the way up to 1865, Texas was still having, like they still had slaves and stuff. They were not aware of the fact that slavery had been abolished, because y'all know that technology was not a thing back then, and they had to do everything by like people, like if somebody said like, oh yeah, this is now a law, people had to actually walk all the way down to Texas to get this word out. You know what I'm saying? To people, it was never like let me just send them a quick text message. Like, it was never like that. People had to actually go down there and tell them and make them spread the word about this stuff. So people did not like go down there and do that. So they never knew. And so the following year, which is 1866, on June 19th, was the first official Juneteenth celebration that took place in Texas. And the original observations, including prayer meetings and the singing of spirituals and celebrations, they were happy. They were happy to be free, right? So African Americans in other states were celebrating the day as well, making it an annual tradition. Now, peep that it is a tradition and not a holiday. So before all of this, that's happening now, as far as with President Biden making this day actual annual national holiday, which means that this is something that is, going to come on your calendars. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you get a calendar and all this stuff, like this holiday is going to be on your calendar. You know what I'm saying? So this is something that, like, it's not going to be, like, as overlooked, right? Because people are actually going to be celebrating it. So it became a holiday in Texas, but it was never, like, an actual, like, holiday all over the United States. It was only in Texas. But people still celebrated it everywhere, but it was only like a national holiday in Texas. So Juneteenth became a state holiday in Texas in 1980, which was 40 years ago. So not until damn near over 120 years later, after all of this stuff happened, that's when they decided, yeah, let's make this a national holiday in Texas, a state holiday in Texas, because this is where all of this stuff happened. And that is why they made it a holiday in Texas. But for everybody else, it was never like a state holiday or a national holiday. It was really just only in Texas, but people still celebrated it everywhere else. Like, having all of this stuff, like, now, especially like knowing that especially knowing that this was not as long ago as y'all might think. Like, this happened in 1860, 65. Like, that's crazy knowing, like, that's not that long ago. Like, in 2065, it's going to be 200 years, which is really not that long ago. If you really think about it, like, a little under 160 something years, like, that ain't that bad. So it's like nowadays people kind of try to overlook a lot of things, especially things that have to do with black people. Like, I really don't understand how people just don't understand when it comes to black people. Like, a lot of that stuff is just overlooked. Like, I don't get it. I never get it. Because, like, I'm gonna say something like some real shit. A lot of the times, like, when you read history books, right? Majority of these people that are black, let's just be real, because a lot of times if they white, they get a look, their pictures are in black and white. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of the times we are used to thinking that black and white pictures means that the picture is old, especially when it's like a person that we are learning about that has been through all this stuff that we think happened so long ago. You would think that these pictures are old because they're in black and white. Oh no, baby. Like, I'm gonna give y'all a prime example. Ruby Bridges. How old do y'all think that Ruby Bridges really is? How long ago do y'all think that Ruby Bridges had to go through all this stuff with all these white people who were throwing tomatoes at her while she was just trying to go to school and get an education? How long do y'all think that was? You think it would be a pretty long time ago? Wrong. That shit happened in 1960. 1960. Bro, when I tell you that shit is not that long ago. 1960? You might be like thinking like, oh, somebody born in 1960, yeah, they kind of old, you know what I'm saying? They in their 60s. Blah, blah, blah. But man, when you think of shit like this, like historic things, bro, that shit was not that long ago. Like, Ruby Bridges is still alive. She is still like alive. To this day, this lady is still alive. She was born in 1954. She is only in her, she's about to be 70. She is still alive. You would think she be dead, right? Because you think that all this stuff happened so long ago? No, bro. No, bro. She is still alive. Literally, Rosa Parks. You would think like, oh, Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King, blah, blah, blah. These motherfuckers. You would think that they would be like old as dirt. But Rosa Parks literally only died in 2005. She only died in 2005. Martin Luther King, if Martin Luther King wasn't assassinated, Martin Luther King would have more than likely lived to probably about 2000. You know, like a little over 2000. If Martin Luther King did not get killed, he would have lived a lot longer. But y'all know the crazy thing also about these folks is that a lot of the times when you look up their names and you look them up, when you look them up, right, their pictures are always in black and white. And why is that? Why are their pictures always in black and white? Because people want you to think that this shit happened so long ago when it didn't. Bro, the civil rights movement happened in like what, the 19... I couldn't really tell you. Somewhere like 19... So Martin Luther King, he died in like 30 something. So this happened in like 1920s or something like that. To be completely honest. Yeah, Martin Luther King died. Oh no, I said 1930. Martin Luther King did not die in 1930. He died in 1960. So this happened 1960s. And this is on the S. So this civil rights movement happened from like, 1940. Started 1940, something like that, like 1950 something. That ain't that long ago, nigga. 1950? 1950. Come on, man. It's people that was born in 1950 that's still alive to this day. That shit ain't that long ago as y'all might think. But Malcolm X got assassinated in 65. Bro, literally like, but when you look at Malcolm X, right? Most of his pictures are in black and white. These motherfuckers want you to think that he was so dang on old. Bro, I guarantee y'all 9 times out of 10, if Malcolm X did not get assassinated, he would have still been alive up to like 2000 something. He would still been alive up to like 2000 something. Let's be real. This shit did not happen that long ago, man. Come on, man. Like, I'm just really it's like not hard to look this stuff up. And these are people who we get taught about, quote unquote. Because a lot of the times we really don't get taught about these people. Let's be real, they don't care about Black history. So it's only our job to learn about our history. And then honestly, it's crazy how long this shit has been going on, because it's like these school systems claim that like they would teach you about like stuff that I wouldn't say didn't happen. But do y'all know, like, it's like the same thing with the Bible and like history books. These history books are not written by the people who actually was, going through this shit. Like, if somebody literally sat here and studied Martin Luther King's life and wrote a book about him or wrote a history book about him, I would guarantee y'all 9 times out of 10 it's going to be things that are missing, and it's going to be things that are not correct. Only why? Because of the fact that Martin Luther King is not here to tell you exactly what had happened and how it happened, or he did not actually write the shit. And with these history books, these history books literally are written by a person who has already been through the shit and then retook it and then written over and over and over again. And y'all know when you hear something and because of, you know, somebody said something to you, and then when you tell somebody else, you're going to miss out something. You're going to, you know, miss something, and they're gonna go tell somebody else and they're gonna miss something. The word gets complicated, confuddled, confused, all kind of shit. And it ain't originally what it was. You can't believe this shit in these history books. I never believed this shit in these history books because the shit in these history books be, most of it be lies. Okay, they be saying some bullshit and they be saying some dumb shit, but don't believe it. I just wanted to come over here and kind of just explain to y'all what that was and give y'all an explanation on Juneteenth. And I hope that y'all enjoyed this video, and I hope that y'all enjoyed my raggedy ass talking for 16 minutes. So yeah.